Centuries after its empire physically collapsed into ruin, Rome managed to conquer the modern world all over again, and it did it using only its ghosts and ideas. The mechanism for this conquest started in the 18th century with the Grand Tour. This was an essential educational journey across the continent, with Rome acting as the essential final destination for wealthy European aristocrats who wanted to be considered cultured. These visitors arrived with a specific agenda. They came to study, sketch, and extract raw visual inspiration directly from the ancient debris. They recorded the exact proportions of columns and the sweep of arches, packing up those architectural blueprints to take back to Britain, France, and America. Through thousands of these sketches and souvenirs, Rome shifted from a localized physical place into a portable system of design, a global idea that could be rebuilt anywhere. Within a century, the visual language recorded on those tours appeared across the Western world in a wave of neoclassical architecture. When modern nations wanted to project authority, they reached directly for Roman elements. Look at the U.S. Capitol building. Its massive dome and rows of classical columns are lifted straight from the ancient playbook. Institutions of immense wealth and culture adopted the exact same look. The British Museum, sitting thousands of miles away from Italy, greets its visitors with a heavy triangular pediment and a massive stone facade. This created a striking geographical divide. While global Rome was providing the architectural identity for banks, museums, and governments across 3 continents, the physical city of local Rome had been entirely left behind. If you traveled away from those grand neoclassical capitals and stepped onto the physical Italian peninsula in the 19th century, you would find a messy, deeply divided reality. The land was carved up into a chaotic patchwork of separate kingdoms and minor independent city-states. Right in the middle sat the specific anomaly of Rome, locked in the center of the peninsula and governed directly by the Pope as the People States. This direct religious rule kept the physical city isolated and essentially frozen in time, completely insulated from the rapid industrialization happening everywhere else in Europe. While the rest of Europe modernized, Rome remained an absolute religious monarchy, an island of the Old World sitting directly in the path of a growing nationalist movement. That pressure gave rise to the Risorgimento, or resurgence, an intense movement dedicated to physically stitching the broken peninsula into a single modern nation. The unification strategy relied on 2 distinct forces. From the north, Count Cavour acted as the movement's shrewd political operator, handling the complex diplomatic negotiations. Down south, the ground war was led by Giuseppe Garibaldi, a fierce, guerrilla military commander who fought his way up the boot. Throughout the late 1850s and 60s, these dual forces swept across the region, successfully conquering and uniting almost the entire peninsula under one flag. They successfully assembled the modern nation, yet the final, most essential territory, Rome, remained strictly off-limits, protected by the Pope and his walls. In 1870, the Italian state finally reached its breaking point. National troops marched directly on Rome, determined to take the city by force. They faced a massive physical barrier, the ancient Aurelian walls, a heavy defensive perimeter that had surrounded and protected the city for centuries. The violent climax arrived at a gate called Porta Pia. Italian artillery relentlessly pounded the ancient masonry until they blasted a hole straight through it, allowing troops to flood the city streets. In the immediate aftermath, the Pope withdrew behind the walls of the Vatican. He bitterly refused to recognize the new Italian state, initiating a standoff that would last for decades. But the battle was over. Under King Victor Emmanuel, Rome was instantly declared the physical capital of the unified Kingdom of Italy. The ghost town that had supplied the globe with an architectural identity for centuries finally had its physical body restored. From a global architectural idea to a reclaimed physical capital, the 2 Romes were finally brought back together. Look around your own city. Do you have any neoclassical domes or Roman columns nearby? Let us know in the comments below.